Do 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 do. I wonder why that song just popped into my head. Hi, welcome back. If you've been with me before, my name is Trinity. This is Esoteria and 12-Step Tarot. If you're new, welcome. We are so glad you're here. I have literally the best community on YouTube. Little anecdote. I was kind of scrolling through my videos, not my videos, but the videos on my feed, and one of my old videos popped up, and it was the one that was from 6 months ago, and it said they will reap what they have sown, and let's just say they did. Wow. Okay. I guess I'm pretty good at this. I kind of am. Been doing this since I was 16 years old, though, guys. So I mean, that's something where if you are gonna start anything new, it just takes time and practice, and you'll eventually get good at it. Oh, I've got one left in the box. What does this say? Ah, 3 of Wands. All right. So, what I wanted to do, since it is Easter, and happy Easter, happy Passover, happy Sunday, if you're non-religious, because it's your higher power and your understanding of that higher power that really matters. But there are lots of us who celebrate, so why not? Let's go ahead. It looks like we're waiting for some ships to come in right now. So what I want to do is kind of look at what may be blocking us from rising as the phoenixes that we are. And if you, in my own head, I always affiliate the story of Jesus Christ and his crucifixion with the phoenix. So that's kind of where I got the inspiration from this. I also got told that I'm going to be giving a sermon at church on one in June and one in July. So I will let you know when the dates are. That's the Unitarian Church here locally. So once I have those videos out of my sermons, I will go ahead and post them here so that you can partake of my madness. But anyway, if you don't know, I am getting my doctorate in divinity through Unity Church. But this is actually the Unitarian Church that has asked me and invited me to be of service, because the town I live in, we do not have a Unity Church. So perhaps that's what I'm being called to do. All right. Ooh. So, what is preventing us from rising? Girlfriend or boyfriend. I have the Wound of the Pleaser's Cage. This is, by the way, the Sacred Woundings 2 Oracle off of Etsy. It's from the Reckoning Company. I absolutely love it. Let's see if I can, like, when I'm doing this for myself, I have to take a picture and blow up the thing, because I tell you what, when you turn 35, which I'm far beyond that now, but it's like you turn 35 and your eyes start going, and they don't work as well as they used to, and it makes me sad. Okay, love learned through self-erasure. Wow. Love learned through self-erasure. All right. I'm going to keep it at that, just that top, so that you don't, unless you enjoy watching me struggle to read small print. Look at that. It's teensy tiny. I almost wish that she had a guidebook with this, with bigger font. However, I will say that this is something that is holding you back right now from rising as a phoenix. Wanting people to like you, wanting everybody to like you, really worrying about what their judgments are about you, worrying about not being loved or lovable if people knew who you truly were. So Wow, honey, I love you just for who you are, just where you are right now. So, what I want to do, now that we know the wounding that we're dealing with and what is causing us to really struggle with fully taking flight, I'm hearing you don't have to sit in the fire anymore. The fire is now found within you. You need to tend to it and kindle it. But the spark has come back. Okay. And you're seeing glimpses of it through your dreams. I've got Mother Mary here as well. And Mary Magdalene. So the two Marys. Oh, and it's Easter. That's so super cool. It's kind of neat that we have those ladies coming and joining us tonight. I love working with the other side. They're wonderful. Okay. So let's go ahead and ask their advice because they're going to give us some really solid feminine advice on how to get over pleasing other people at our own expense. And if you think about it, think about their stories in the Bible. The one got pregnant at what, 9, 10 years old, and had to be pretty much married off to a guy who genuinely was good. But he had to take her out of her homeland and take her to a totally different country to raise the baby so that she wouldn't be persecuted for adultery because, she got pregnant when she was not married. So, so there is that. And you can, even if you're not Christian, I think that we can have some compassion for her, for what she went through. And you can think about whether it was a miracle or if it was just a cover up because she was actually raped and they didn't want her to get hurt. There are lots of different ways of interpreting that story from the Bible. I personally like to think of it as being a very divinely orchestrated event nonetheless. So I should actually get like a Jesus oracle at some point too. He is a fabulous entity. If you haven't worked with him, for whatever reason, I was bullied more at church growing up than I ever was at school or out in the mundane world. So I talk about religious trauma. That's something that I don't want to be rousing any triggers in you because of this, but he is someone who is not what the mainstream says he is. He was the one who looked after the outliers. He was the one who invited the outcast to eat at the table, and he was the one who told the elite to go F themselves when they were taxing people too much. So, he's a good guy, in my opinion, and I have worked with him quite a bit. So, all right. Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene, what can we do to... Not that one. Okay, if it's meant to come out, it'll come out. What can we do to help heal this pleaser, get us out of this pleaser's cage? We don't want to be in that anymore. We want to be embracing our full selves, fully embodied, kicking butt and taking names in the world. How can we do this? Okay, so we've got quite a bit of we've got 2 messages too. So very cool. I guess each one of them has their own opinion. All right, so the first one is the World card. And this is the Circle of Life Tarot is what I'm using. All right, so there's the World card. We've got the 8 of Coins. We've got the Eight of Swords, but it did come in the reverse. Oh, gosh, I just got a message loud and clear. And then we have the King of Cups. All right. So the first message is from Mother Mary, and she is saying that you have acquired tools along your path that you can utilize in order to get you to where you need to go. It's going to take some work, but actions over staying in your own head are going to be key. And in fact, that taking of action, instead of like sitting there scrolling, or watching TV or escaping, get into action, like get physically fit. If you can, just focus on your physical body. And I'm not necessarily seeing this Eight of Coins as being like, work, pour yourself into work. Pour yourself into your own physical health, because that will help ground you and help you to align yourself. You're going to start receiving messages when you're out in nature, I'm hearing. But it will also make it so that you are not so in your head. Because if you look at this card, the Eight of Swords, he's in an actual prison there, like a concrete cell. So we're going to keep this, stay out of your own way, by way of staying out of your own head. I don't know about you, but when I am overthinking something, it's usually because I want to control the outcome to a certain situation. And so maybe saying the Serenity Prayer would be very, very good. And then the final card is the King of Cups. Okay. That is going to be, I'm hearing that's not another person, that's finding the partnership that you have, the union within the self, learning to love yourself better than anyone else possibly could, so that you can walk in confidence, because not everybody has to like you. I mean, think about it this way. If you are in a position where you are known for whatever, I don't care who you are, as long as you have some form of infamy, there are going to be people who do not like you, who gossip about you. You cannot please everyone. And a king knows this, and they move forward anyway. They rule their domain anyway, because that's their right. And I tell you what, when you are in early recovery, we're always told, we're like actors on a stage, and trying to direct the play at the same time. And that is very, very true. However, there are certain things, certain elements of your life that you can control, like how you eat, how much water you take in, how much sleep you get, how you talk to yourself. That's a big thing. If you're constantly beating yourself up over not getting something done, or constantly feeling on edge, that's something that you might want to seek a therapist about, because obviously we in the meetings are really, really good at helping people who are struggling. And sometimes we are unafraid to tell you some harsh truths that your, therapist may be ethically bound to try and guide you to that own conclusion for yourself. But sometimes the quicker route is just to slap you up top of the head and go, you're making a choice. You're justifying your drinking or using. And so it's a double-edged sword though, because some people are they don't receive that well. I know I'm one who I need to have someone come in with a harsh truth in a tender way. And I'm very grateful that I was aligned with people who did that for me. But there are other things that I go to a therapist for. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that that mental health is going to be a real important component to your ability to rise and take charge. However, that starts with the physical body, always, especially your diet. I cannot tell you how completely locked in your digestive health and your mental health are. If you're eating nothing but junk food, you're going to be depressed, you're going to be anxious, and it's because your body is screaming for micronutrients. And so get to looking over your diet. Do a food journal if you need to, but that's going to be really, really important. And quite frankly, you'll thank me. After 30 days, you're going to thank me because you're going to feel like 100% better, not just physically, but mentally as well. All right, so let's go ahead and ask Mary Magdalene the same question. What is some advice to get out of the pleaser's cage? And she says 4 of coins. Okay. Oh, we have the Queen of Cups here. We have the 4 of Swords. Get some rest. Rejuvenate that body. And then we have the Star. All right. So being able to maintain an air of moderation throughout all things that you do within your life. There is a Greek philosophy, moderation in everything. And I think that that's really what this 4 of Pentacles is showing. Sometimes this can be the hoarder card. And so if you are living in a really cluttered environment, not that I'm being called out right now, but, that's going to be something that you want to work on, getting rid of the things that you no longer need, quit holding on to them. But then also, being very prudent in other things like your spending and stuff like that. I'm hearing that will keep the demons at bay. Okay. This Queen of Cups. I'm being told to really look at the card. I'm going to show you the card here so that you can look at it as well if you want to pause the video. Turning to service toward others is kind of popping out, because if you look, you can barely see this little fairy. It's kind of like sitting down and looking sad, and then there's another angel back here that you can't see their face, and it's almost like they're hidden, and looking kind of depressed, and maintaining a sense of calm and being of service to these people. So working with a sponsee may be helpful if you're in that part of your recovery and are able to 12-step, will be extremely helpful. And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter how long you've gotten in the program or got in the program. You can be of service in a lot of different ways from day one. And quite frankly, on day one, your biggest service is to the group is the one that you're the decision to walk into that room and do it for yourself. Sharing what your problem is with your substance. I know some groups get really testy about keeping it the primary purpose, and that means only talking about your issues with alcohol, and not necessarily the ones that lead to making those decisions for yourself, but find the right group for you. But getting into a meeting and working with other people is going to be really helpful for you, because it's also going to make you feel good about yourself. Because, a lot of times we come into the rooms and we're thinking, oh, I don't have anything good about me. And no, that's not true. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we can find a way, to help others with our story. And, that is true through and through. So 4 of Swords, getting rest. And for some reason, I'm not seeing swords, I'm seeing paintbrushes. So Resting may mean not necessarily sleeping, although that is an important aspect of human life, let alone recovery. So, but also getting into your creative juices, getting out of your own head and like getting into a meditative state while you're painting might be good. I just went to the park the other day. I did post a couple of videos while I was painting. And then I had some very fine gentlemen drive up in an ATV. So I had to know it like this, but whatever. Then the star. Focus on your own healing. Okay. It does not matter what other people from your past think about you. It does not matter what on earth they're talking about you with other people, the stories that they've said. Let your recovery and your healing speak for itself. And the only way to do that is to focus on it. I'm looking at the star, and I'm also seeing that that elevation, that rising that we were asking about within that card. That's really where everything, if you can, start to heal your body, physically, mentally, spiritually, it's inevitable that you're going to rise. So focus on what you can do for yourself on this healing journey, and the results will speak for themselves. And quite frankly, I'm hearing that those other people will eat their words, and they may be a little embarrassed, quite frankly, as to what they have said about you. So don't you worry about a thing. If they weren't going to like you, it doesn't matter what you're going to be doing to try and get them to like you. They weren't going to like you in the first place. So don't worry about it. Don't take it personally. Don't wish them ill. Just move on. Your tribe is coming. Your tribe is coming, I'm hearing. Okay. I want to pull from the Work Your Light Oracle from Rebecca Campbell next. And I want to see what this card has to say. Because Phoenix is glow, baby. It's funny because I've had a couple of cards that have kind of peeked out and then dipped back in. And it's almost like that little, like you're putting your foot into a new timeline for yourself, but then taking it back and putting it in and taking it back and putting it in and taking it back. So once you fully commit to this path, you're going to see the results very, very fast. Oh, we have 2 cards from this. I'm hearing a third. Here we go. I'm hearing the word princess. I don't know if there was someone from your past who has passed on who used to call you princess, or prince, but know that they're with you and cheering you on from the other side. All right. Birthing a new age. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. That's exactly what you're doing. There are a lot of us woo-woos who talk about, the split of the earth and the new earth coming into being. And you can see the physicality of that in the fact that there are more and more and more and more young people choosing to stay sober and clean than ever before. So, and that gives me so much hope because this disease just ruins your life. So it's happening. And how you're going to create that is by stopping consumption of what other people have been feeding you. And you can take that however it resonates. There are many, many ways that can resonate. That's not just talking about food or, substances. Get into the creative mode because your creations are going to inspire other people to create their own, is what I'm hearing. So, and they won't be inspired to create their own destinies and get aligned if you don't get on it for yourself. That's really interesting because this gives me the idea that you are an incredibly important person on this journey through life. You're going to influence a lot of people through what you accomplish in your recovery. I don't want to say that in a way that puts pressure on you, because that's the last thing I want to do. You're already pressuring yourself. It's just, I want to use that to motivate you. Like, I guess one of the things that I used to use, I wasn't getting clean and sober for my children. However, I knew that they were counting on me to do it so that I could provide them with a really good life later, when I was capable of it. And so that was a motivating factor. So you can take that however, don't use it as pressure, use it as motivation, okay? The next one is, oh, look at this. Anna, grandmother of Jesus. So we have a third lady coming through. I love that. Seeding the light, laying foundations, and divine plan. I feel like this is a family affair, a biblical family affair here. So we've got grandma, mom, and wife. I think that's wonderful. So all of these ladies. All the sofa ladies, all the sofa ladies. Okay, warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? This is actually, it's really interesting because this was what I was thinking about as far as the sermon I was doing in June. Like, are you hearing the call, and are you following through with it? So get on that. And if you haven't gotten a call yet, know that right now your call is to learn how to heal yourself. But I'm hearing making a decision, and it's not, whenever we're looking at the decision, the important decision in recovery is not to get clean and sober. That is an important one, but it's not the most important one. The most important one comes at step 3, when we make the decision to turn our will and our lives over to God as we understand Him. And honestly, that can be the hardest of the decisions to make, because there are a lot of things that we want to have control in. Well, I want this type of a house and that type of a lifestyle, and that may not be what is in the grand plan for you. But I promise you, if you surrender to this divine plan, and I'm gonna pull her up again. If you surrender to this grand plan, and you take your sword and make some major cuts from your life that you're being asked to make, whatever you manifest is going to be better than anything you think you want now. It really, really is. So, all right, you got this. You got this, babies. I promise. Alrighty. I will be in the Atlanta area at the Sacred Space Foundation in 1827 Powers Ferry Road, building 18, from 2 to 6, I believe. We do have a meeting beforehand, and you're more than welcome to come to that. We would love to have you. But it is going to be a whole bunch of fellows in recovery offering their services and products at a vendor market. And it is a fundraising event for Sacred Space. Sacred Space is absolutely amazing. The founder, Wednesday, has done so much work for the recovery community, especially for the non-traditional recovery community, which was so very needed. And so we are raising money so that she can continue to keep those doors open and help heal more and more people. So and it's a great way to, get to know some fellows in recovery and see what your life could be like on the other side of sobriety. Okay. So that's on the 11th. I will go ahead and post my email in the comments, because I haven't figured out how to do the description box without it being very frustrating on my phone. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not very tech savvy. I can read cards like there is no tomorrow, but the tech part of this, as you can tell, is lacking greatly. But I will leave my email in case you want a personal reading. Right now for Aries season, I am giving 50% off, so that's $35 for a full hour. And I've always said that I don't necessarily do this for money, but I do need to put a roof over my head. But because it's my birthday, I definitely want to be able to extend the offer of giving personal readings right now at that discounted price because it's my birthday. All right. If no one's told you today, oh, one other thing. Before I tell you I love you, we have a women's retreat. It's a spiritual, like to get spiritually aligned with your purpose and to turn that purpose into an ability to create an income with it. That is going to be in St. Simon's. I will also share the link there just in case you want to register. We do have a couple of beds left, but it's going to be so much fun. I am so excited. Anyway, if no one's told you today, know that I love you. Take care.